Hey everybody, back up here. It's like April 18th, so just mid-April. Um, Everything's different in my life again. I decided this year just to quit my job and come up here and finish this cabin. Last year, I was working part-time and came up here. I got the wiring all done, but it's just I couldn't get much done. So now I'm hoping to get this all done this summer and then just be done with it, enjoy the cabin rather than come up here and working on it. But anyway, so I'm back up here. It again held up pretty good through the winter. The only thing that really was bad is this started coming off. So it looks like it's been flapping for a while, but just this corner, I mean, the rest of this is looking still pretty nice. Yeah, there's still snow on the ground. And so I'm going to get done with this outside, hopefully. So here's my plan. I wanted to get on this. I'm going to take off all this Tyvek stuff. I'm going to put on new Tyvek since this stuff's been out for like 2 years now in the weather. I'm actually surprised it held up so good just on its own. But anyways, I'm going to rip that off. I'm going to put on new wrap. Then I'm going to get my windows. I'm going to put my windows in. Then I'm going to put on the R5 rigid insulation on the outside. And then after that, I'm going to put on vinyl siding on top of that. Now, I wouldn't do that normally, but they're kind of forcing me to do all this with the efficiency requirements. So even though I got 2x6 walls, just to hold the insulation they want, like R21, I think, is required wall insulation, so you got to have 6-inch walls. And then I got to do more efficiency requirements, so I have to have either more insulation in the ceiling and the floor, which I can't fit any more in, and so my only other option is to put this R5 rigid styrofoam on the outside. And then because I'm doing that, I don't really want to build on all the snailing points to put on like hardy plank up here. So I'm just going to do vinyl on top of that just because I got the styrofoam there. So they're kind of driving me to choose the things I'm choosing on this. Otherwise I would put hardy plank up here. It's fire danger up here, so I'm not really concerned about the efficiency. I'm concerned about fire, but that's not the state's plan up here. But anyways, oh yeah, I got still a lot of digging to do. I got to get all this dirt back in my place. But what's awesome, totally awesome, I put in some plugs in my shed here, and I now have power. Woo! But anyway, so I got actual fridge now. Like, wow, that's amazing. And then my batteries went out right away for my drill, and otherwise I would have to use this big old generator here to just power that. So now I can plug stuff in. I mean, it's like, wow, it's like high technology just to be able to plug stuff in. I mean, wow, that's amazing. I know it sounds kind of simple, but when you're always messing with bringing up ice, and then it'll melt in a few days, and you'll have to go get more. So it's a big deal, and wow, awesome. Whew. But now back into this place. I mean, it's just been sealed off like a tomb or something. Everything's boarded up, but I'm jazzed having that power all done. So really my plan in here, I got to somehow fix this plumbing failure I did. So I'm hoping to talk to the inspector and see if there's a way I can fix this plumbing. And then after the plumbing's inspected, then I can finally get my walls inspected. I mean, all this hasn't been inspected yet, but that's what I'm hoping there. And then really all I got to do is I got to just insulate it and then drywall it, so it's looking, pretty good in here. I don't think it'll take that long. I used to be a a drywaller. So, I mean, it doesn't sound that intimidating or anything. And then, of course, I am kind of debating on this floor whether to put, you know, more plywood on top of the subfloor before I put, you know, just that laminate flooring down. I'm kind of debating on that. I kind of want to just put it right over this and just do it quick. But anyways, I'm hoping the rest of this is going to go pretty quick inside, crossing my fingers. But of course, I still, after the drywall's done, I still need to put my kitchen cabinets in. Oh, and something I'm going to do as soon as I can, because again, I'm approaching my 6 months of my permit's going to expire unless I get an inspection soon. So I was hoping to get my piping from the vent up there. This is going to be for my stove, and then I got one in the bathroom for the bathroom vent, and so that'll be like a mechanical inspection. So I'm hoping I can just get those in and then get an inspection. But this one for the stove actually I think has to be metal, smooth metal piping, because possibly flames could go up there. I don't know. But anyways, this one's got to be metal, so I got to get that done. I got me some metal already, so hopefully that'll be kind of easy. But yeah, I got a lot planned for this year. I keep thinking like, oh, it's not that bad, but I do have a lot planned. And then I guess I gotta, you know, I guess I have to put in, you know, my soffits up here, so I got to do that all the way around the house, or you know, so I still need to cut that stuff. But of course I came up here and I remembered, oh yeah, I forgot my 6-foot ladder, my 8-foot ladder, my, you know, table saw, my all kinds of stuff. So anyways, this week I'm just trying to, you know, get a grip on what I need to bring up here, what I need to get ordered. I think I need to get these windows ordered quick, like, because I don't know, the virus is still shutting down places, so. And so my thinking here is I'm going to put this up there. I'm going to just kind of dry fit it in, and then I'm going to put a couple pieces of that tape on there to hold it where I want it. And then I'm going to take it down, screw it all in, tape it all up, and then mount it in for good. Hopefully it'll pass tomorrow's inspection on this. Next week, suppose it looks like it's going to snow and it's going to be real cold up here, so next week's not looking too good. But I saw I could schedule one for tomorrow, and so I was like, all right, so I got an inspection scheduled for tomorrow for this stuff, and hopefully I can ask some questions on the plumbing so I can get that thing fixed, because I can't go anywhere inside here until the plumbing's inspected, and then I can get the framing inspected, then I can put insulation and drywall on. So I'm really waiting on that. So I gotta, hopefully the right inspector's coming tomorrow that knows a lot about plumbing, and I can ask him a lot of questions. So anyways, that's my game plan. And I'm using these self-tapping screws. They seem to work pretty good. They go through the first layer, but if you push too hard, it seems to push in the second inner layer. So you got to kind of go slow so it drills through that second layer and doesn't just push it in. And then I'm sealing it up with this kind of metallic tape. It's real sticky. I like it. But anyways, that's what I'm doing. Hey, and there it is, you know, like always, it looks good to me, but it's up to what the inspector says. So I think I got it all to, code, and we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I'll let you know. Oh, and last night I ended up just tearing out a lot of my plumbing I had in the walls here, so it's all going to be different than it was before. So it's all cut out now and ready for new pipe. Whew! I have to tell you, man, this is total chaos trying to get this stuff inspected. Woo. Okay, so anyways, I failed an inspection again. Of course, so on this vent for my stove right here, that failed. He said, no, I can't use a 4-inch pipe. It's got to be a 6-inch pipe. So I've already got all my shingles on everything. So to switch that to a 6-inch pipe now, like, wow, what a pain in the butt. So he said if I can actually find a vent that's UL listed for 150 cubic feet per second or whatever through a 4-inch pipe, then I can use that. Otherwise, I got to cut all this out and redo everything. So, oh my God. So what's even funnier, right? So all my plumbing's failed a long time ago. And so, the other day I was going to cut out this pipe because the previous inspector said I couldn't have this horizontal venting. So I almost cut this whole thing out yesterday. And the inspector, he looked at the new inspector, said, no, that looks fine. He called up another plumbing inspector. They looked at it, said, no, it looks fine. So everything failed before, but now it's like, no, it would have been fine. So yes, I already cut out this stuff. It's too late now, but that's all right. So they told me a solution to fix my whole plumbing thing, and it's real simple. So I can keep all this venting for this toilet, which I don't know why that was denied in the first place, but he said I couldn't do that. And so now it's all fine. And so now all I have to do is put this automatic vent piece on the shower, and then I'm good to go. He said everything passes. So all I got to do is redo my vent pipe up here, and then go underneath, put this automatic vent piece on this, and I'm good to go, and that's it. And so, wow, that sounds great. So hopefully I can get that done by next week. My permit expires next week, and it's supposed to be cold and snowy here next week, so I really didn't want to come. But since I failed another inspection, that won't keep my permit alive, apparently. I thought you just had to get an inspection, but you have to actually pass an inspection every 6 months. So unless I pass by next week, I have to resubmit my permit. Last year it took like a month and a half to get my permit. So I'm kind of hosed if I don't get this stuff inspected, because I can't move on anything unless, the framing and plumbing passes. So, whew, we'll see how it goes. So I was like way hustling there. So I was putting this pipe together, and I glued this pipe down, and then I noticed like I had it the wrong direction. So the water wasn't flowing this way, it was going this way, and I was like, oh crap. So I pulled it off really fast and switched directions, re-glued it, and then got this pipe in. So it all worked out, but I'm glad I caught it when I did. Hallelujah. That's all I gotta say. So the inspector came over, plumbing all passed, fine. That's good to go. This pipe up here, he's still like, no, dude, you gotta come up with a 6-inch pipe. So no matter what, I need to redo my pipe there, but he said my framing looks good. So he said I can start insulating the inside now. and then they'll come back and inspect the insulation, the pipe, and the framing all at once, because he said the framing is good to go. This is funny. So up here, he was looking at the framing. He goes, you get a better angle here. So between my rafters there, he was saying I needed to put another piece of wood as a collar tie. And I said, well, the engineer said these ceiling beams are acting as collar ties. I don't need extra collar ties. And then he said, well, you're right. If you actually put collar ties in up there, you're not going to have any access at all to your roof space. And so, yeah, don't bother with those. And again, this place is so small. That's my problem. That all these rules really aren't good for like a little place like this. It's hard to work around. But sweet, everything passed. I got to go back and get my second COVID vaccination tomorrow morning, so I'm heading back today and up next week start working away on this place. But super good news from the inspector. I'm just jazzed. Hey, finally got to fill in that septic pipe. Man, it's been a long time. I think I uncovered that like at the end of my first year. So it's been uncovered for like almost 2 years. And so now it's great to finally get it covered up. Besides, I got to start working on the sides of the house, and I'm going to need to put a ladder there. So it's good that's filled in. I'm going to start on, I think, the vent next. Replacing that. Got to do what you got to do, I guess. Hey, so there we go. Got it all done. It looked pretty good. Once I got some nails under there up, it slid in there and worked out all right. So I think it was a little better off before, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. Hey, got my vent all done. Now I got my official 6-inch vent in there. Looks pretty good to me. So starting moving on to other stuff now. Hey, so getting this Tyvek up. This time, last time I got it around the whole place like perfectly straight. This time I'm like way off, probably like 6 inches off at the other end. But I started going crooked, and you got to kind of keep going with it to keep everything flat. But I mean, it looks pretty flat. But I'm gonna have to cut a bigger piece is all to go up there. But yeah. So now that I'm off track so much, I think I'm going to cut off the corner and start over for the rest. Hopefully the rest will get a little straighter. But anyways, that Home Depot called and they're on their way, so I'm jazzed about getting that order. Whew, got that done, you know. I don't remember it being that hard. I guess it was 2 years ago. But anyways, I got my wrap all done. It really looks pretty flat and everything, which is good. I did go off track again a little bit, you know, but heck, by the time you get to the end, you know, I got way to the end here, and I see, you can see right there, there's just a little bit of wood showing on the end at the bottom. But I got to the end, and you know, to make it straight, I'd have to kind of ripple the whole thing, you know, by moving it down. And I figured, you know, then I'd have to redo all my staples to get it flattened out. And so I figured it was easier just to do it at one section, and then, you know, this little bottom piece, I'll just stick another little short piece in there to cover that up. I figured that'd be a lot easier than trying to get everything straight again. But I mean, it all turned out pretty good. So and while I was doing that, my Home Depot order, like I don't advertise Home Depot enough, you know. I got to put it on the wrap. But anyways, here's my door. Came in, so I got it's for a 6-inch jamb, so it's a little bigger than the 4-inch ones I got normally. But and here's my big window, and then two of my other little bit bigger, smaller windows. But the two smallest windows they didn't have, so I had to special order one of them, and the other one they just didn't have in stock. So I'm waiting on those two windows. But the guy ordered me the window. I told him it, and he sent me the specs, and it was like a U factor of 0.33. And I told him, I said, but I would fail my inspection with that. It's got to be a 0.3. And he's like, are you kidding me? And it's like, no, these windows got to have stickers, you know, on them with the U factor. They'll check that in the final inspection. So you kind of have to get those right. Otherwise, I mean, gosh, by then you'd have your windows on, your trim, everything would be done, and your windows would fail. So you gotta, you know, watch those little factors. Anyways, this turned out pretty good. Now I just got to do the top piece up there, and I saved my old pieces, so I figured I'd kind of rough cut them to put them up there. But onward and onward. Hey, and I was going to add something, you know. I got one of these handy dandy nailers. You know, I figured, oh, these would be better, you know, a lot better putting up this wrap than these normal ones, you know. But I found with this, you got to hit it so hard, wham, that it kind of dings the wrap up, you know. So I mean, if it's high or something and I just want to whack in some, I'll use this. But it seems to be kind of hard on this wrap. It's, you know, wrap isn't that tough. So when you whack it with this metal thing, it just seems like a bit much. So anyways, I've been using this, even though I got one of these. It really wasn't helpful. I think on roof felt or something, it might work out a lot better if you use that. But hey, just patching up some of these little spots today in my wrap here. You know, I just was going to mention something funny. Last night I was thinking about it, you know, hindsight's always 20/20. I was thinking, like, I could have just, you know, held up this starting piece and then just put a level right here against these red lines, and I would have started off, you know, straight in the first place. And so next time I'm putting on wrap, that's an idea. But anyways, back to this patching up little pieces. Hey, so the wrapping's all done. It looks really pretty good. I did go through an entire box of these staples, and it was an entire roll of the tape. I thought actually I'd use a lot more tape. I ran out right on that last little corner, and luckily I had another roll sitting around, so I didn't have to go to the store. But anyways, it's about how much it took for materials. This was like one roll went, you know, around the entire place. The rolls are like 9 by 150, and so it wrapped this whole thing with one roll, even the top little pieces and stuff. So yeah, so there you go. Hey, so I thought I'd start chilling out a bit after finishing all my wrap there. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to get kind of cleaned up and get my installation kind of figured out for an order. But I was gonna tell you this. People ask me, like, how do I keep my stuff locked up here? Like, because I was gone all the time. Now I'm up here all the time, but I used to be gone half time, right? So here's my defense system here. I've got, you know, now 2 ropes on my plastic gate that I tie across there. And yeah, that's like the extent of my, you know, security system here in the mountains. And you know, I guess they could just untie it and walk on in, you know. And also, but you know, I got now this highway on my property, you know, going all the way to the end there, you know. So they can just walk in around the property or cut anything, you know. And you know, I guess I got, right now I got, you know, probably $600 of doors, maybe $500 of doors or windows sitting there. But I mean, come on, somebody would have to want that size window. Hopefully nobody will, but you know, in here now I got my valuable beer, but of course I locked this store, you know. But still, you know, up here, oh, and that generator, I used to leave that generator right out here, and my huge radial saw, real nice saw, and I just left them out here covered up with tarp. And it was just too heavy to move them around, you know, to move that stuff into the shed all the time. And so I just left them out, you know. And I really just trust people in general. Like, they're not going to rip me off, hopefully. But, you know, also up here, it's like the middle of nowhere. You know, they're just starting to build a store right now. Maybe be ready next year. But otherwise, like, why would people come here except if you're, you know, going on the OHV, ATV trails, you know. Otherwise, like, it's the middle of nowhere. So I don't worry about, you know, crackheads ripping me off or anything, because they're probably in the city, you know. And I mean, I used to live in Fresno, California for like 10 years. They'd rip you off, and in New York second there, like, you know, everything had to be like double locked, you know. But but here, I mean, come on, like, even if you you know, sometimes there won't be a car driving by here for like 2 or 3 hours, and so you could take a pick, you know, a couple lock picks. I pick locks for fun, but you could lock pick these little door locks in probably, you know, 10 minutes, and you've got hours while nobody's gonna drive by. So, you know, it's kind of pointless. And who the hell's gonna have a fortune in one of these cabins anyways? You know, there's probably nothing you want to steal. And so anyways, that's my security system here. I really don't have any, but of course, you know, I try to organize my stuff here. So, you know, the valuable stuff is maybe here they'll steal, and this stuff they'll go, it's not worth stealing. But, you know, right now they're not going to break in any door or anything to get this stuff. So it's all good. But that's a little sidetrack from this building. Just getting my soffits up today. It's going all right, I guess. You know, what I'm doing here is I'm putting I put 2 little screws at the top there, just to hold that end up when I slide this in. Because again, I'm just doing it by myself. So I put 2 screws there going in that way, so it'll make a little lip for it, and I slide the piece in and then nail it together. Unfortunately, I didn't have my right nailer with me, so I'm just using finish nails, and it seems to be working all right. It's kind of cheesy, but I got to keep moving. I don't want to drive, 7 hours to go get a different nailer, so I'm just going with it. Hey, and just another thing, before I put this thing up, I marked where all the studs are on this paper, the wrap, so I could, when I put it up there, I know where the studs are. It's easy to find them, otherwise you'd be nailing all over. So just something to do. Hey, and so that's basically how I'm doing my soffits. I made those little jigs, but there really wasn't enough space to clamp them on anywhere. But I found I could just clamp these barely on the very edge of the fascia, and it would hold up the soffit, and they're just on this little edge. So that worked for now. So I'm just going to continue all the way around. All right, so I got all my soffits up. I did learn. I put one up, and I'll show you it was kind of a crooked area where the end hit after I already nailed it up, so I had to pull it out, and man, those nails were really hard to get out. So I was worried about using the smaller finishing nails, but boy, they like really hold this stuff up great. Here's a problem though. I was putting up all these pieces up here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me zoom in here. I was putting up these pieces, and I got a pretty big gap on really this area right here between the soffits and the fascia. I got a pretty big gap there, and it was just kind of uneven. I think some pieces stuck out more than others, but so now I got a lot of caulking to do. I'm going to caulk that. And I did put up little tiny pieces to go right in there, little edge pieces, so it looks a lot better. But again, I got to caulk around everything.